Hello again, everyone. Going to be putting up a new ceiling fan today in our living room. The reason we need a fan in here, the fan in our bedroom went bad, so we use this fan in the living room a lot more than the bedroom. So I told Rita we would just take the fan down from in here and we'll put it in the bedroom. So that's what we've done. Here's the ceiling where the fan will be installed. And this is in our living room. The fan we took down was a Hunter, well-known company for fans, so we went back with the same brand. This is a 52-inch fan, has 5 blades. It's called the Burleson 2. It does have a matte black finish on the motor and the metal part, and then the blades, they're reversible, and we'll probably turn the blades with the dark part down. So let's get started. Well, there's the most important thing that I see we need, the instructions on how to put it together. So definitely want to hang on to that. And here's the rest of the items. It does have LED bulbs that are included. Get this unboxed, get all the parts out and see what we need and go from there. Well, that's everything out of the box. The fan we took down in here was, like I said, it was a Hunter. And noticing this, it has the same yoke as the one we took down. So this would be pretty simple to put up. Bulbs are still in the box, and the globes, we'll leave them in there for now. They identify their bags with the parts in them by symbols. And in our first step, we want the bag that has a star symbol in it. And this bag right here, it's got the star symbol. That's what we need first. Step 1 is to install this cradle. And it mounts up against the ceiling like that. They don't give you machine screws to put in a metal box like we have in the ceiling. That's what these long screws are for, to go into wood. But because we have the metal box, I have machine screws down at the shop, but I went and got a couple with some washers. That's what we'll be using. Alright, I have it mounted in the ceiling. Went ahead and hooked the ground wire up that went from the side of this over to ground. The next step is to screw this cradle into the top of the motor. And you can see the threads on each one. There is a set screw right here. You loosen that before you thread it in. Just feed the wire up through the center of it like that. And instructions say 4 to 5 turns of threads, and then tighten the set screw down. Next, we want to hang the motor up on the cradle in the ceiling. You'll notice I put the trim ring around because that fastens up against the cradle. Alright, I had the motor hanging up and hooked the ground wire up. So this is our white wire. That's a hot wire. We made all of our 3 electrical connections. So now I need to slide this canopy up onto the cradle and secure it with a couple of screws right there. And they have shipping blocks, they're called. These things right here. They're screwed in to the bottom of the motor to wedge against here to keep the motor from spinning around during shipment. So I've taken 3 off. There's 2 more to get off, and then we'll go to the next step. Now the motor's free. One reason we chose a Hunter fan, the old fan had this same plug on it that the light plugs into, and the power switch for the fan is on there too. Makes it really simple. Looks like our next step is to install the blades. There's a picture. You got the bracket, a washer under each screw, and 3 screws. And again, instructions are really neat on this, because if you look on the booklet, we want the square block and the triangle. That's the hardwire for the fans. There they are. And because we want the darker side of the fan pointing down, we turn the light side up. The bracket goes under here, and a washer and a screw on each one. Okay, have all 5 fan blades ready to go on. And it says, remember the screws that you kept after removing the shipping box? You need them now, or you need them here. And there they are. So we want to put the blades on next. It's better to put the first 2 blades opposite each other. That keeps the motor from tipping way up and being harder to get to on one side. And I'm just hand tightening them with a regular screwdriver. I have a drill driver that I use a lot of times, but not necessary on this, and I don't want to take a chance on stripping some threads out. So just hand tighten. I've never had a blade of a ceiling fan fly off or get loose, so I think hand tightening is sufficient. Just make sure they're snug. One more. Now we're ready for the light. So now we need to assemble the light. First we mount this canopy against the bottom of the motor housing. And we need 3 screws. Our symbol is the 3 bars. And there's the 3 bars. And the way this works, this fastens up against the motor like that. So you put 2 screws in that you can attach this and twist it. And then you put the 3rd screw in and then tighten all 3 screws. And that's these screws with the washers on them. They have lock washers on them. And our final step, plug the light into that plug. Mount it up there into the canopy, and it uses 3 screws right there. Well, I think all we like now is putting the light bulbs in and the globes. But first, let me turn it on. We'll make sure that the fan's working. We have 3-way switches. We have one switch here, and one in that corner, one in that corner of the room, and then one over there. Let's put some power on. And let's see which one of these is the fan. There we go. That's the fan, and it does have a reverse switch right there. Well, the lights work. These globes are really thick. Some thick glass. And they have little gaskets where the screws tighten down, so it's probably a good thing. Globes and the lights on. The instructions were well laid out, easy to understand. The one remaining question I have, which direction do the blades need to be turning in the summer and the winter? Well, I think I found the answer, according to Hunter anyway. Updraft, which means they turn clockwise from standing underneath it, looking up at the ceiling to the fan. They turn clockwise. That's for moving warm air downward. Counterclockwise, which means it turns to the left, creates a breeze and maximum cooling. So I guess in the summer you would want downdraft or counterclockwise. In the winter you want updraft, which moves the warm air down. So that answered that question. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, and we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel. Thanks.